Hi there and welcome to my latest landscape photography and wilderness adventure here in Tasmania. Today is a very exciting day. I'm about to embark on a 4-day wilderness experience down on the Tasman Peninsula here in Tasmania and complete the Three Capes track. This has been on my list for quite some time to complete this track, and today's the day to make that happen. So super excited to go and check out all these new amazing trails and to look at some amazing photography along the way. I really do feel spoilt being able to complete this track. It's not like the usual wilderness experiences I have in Tasmania, which usually involve becoming very wet, carrying tents, dragging myself up the side of mountains and through rivers and all that kind of carry on. But this track here has been voted as one of the best walking tracks here in Australia. It's supposed to be amazingly crafted, so I can't wait to check it out. I'm also looking forward to having fairly dry feet for most of this trip, and I'm also granted with 3 huts along the way, which are supposed to be exceptional too. So the idea of not carrying a tent in the big pack, not carrying a sleeping mat, not having to carry much cooking gear, just photography gear, a bit of sleeping gear, and obviously some food is an amazing proposition. So it's kind of going to be a nice little luxury. Pack still feels around about 18 to 20 kilos regardless. Being a photographer, or anyone who else is a photographer knows how much gear can weigh with tripod, a lens or two, and obviously the camera. So pack on, and I'm going to make my way down to the head of the trail, which is at the Port Arthur historic site. So let's go and check out the Three Capes. Just walking my way through the Port Arthur historic site at the moment, making my way down to the jetty. The beginning of this hike starts with a boat ride. It goes for about 90 minutes, so what an amazing way to start a wilderness experience here in Tasmania. I've just got to look for the yellow and blue boat and make my way across the bay. This is Dead Man's Cove, which makes the start of this Three Capes trek, and that boat ride out through the peninsula on its own was just amazing. Absolutely thrilled to have been able to go out to sea and see glimpses of Tasman Island and the Blade and all the other amazing cliffs that are on show down here in southern Tasmania. The time of year here in Tasmania is winter, and it's kind of cold. So I'm glad I've brought a pretty warm sleeping bag and a whole bunch of other warm clothing. One good thing about trekking in winter, especially for photography, is I won't get too hot hiking through these hills, and also the atmosphere is absolutely amazing. It is incredible atmosphere. It's got lots of mood in the sky, and I am super excited to go and check out this trail here on the Tasman Peninsula. So far so good, feet are pretty dry. I've only been on the track for 2 minutes though, so can't really complain. The rain has made this eucalypt forest smell so alive. It is so good to get out of the house. I've been in the house now for, well, stuck local for probably close to 4 months with all the restrictions that have been in place, and having that opportunity to be able to move around the state again is absolutely amazing. I really do recommend that people, if you are local, come and check this out. This is just a spectacular set of coastline, even off the boat, and the start of this trail is looking amazing. Just been walking about an hour and a half, no less and no more than 2 hours, and I'm just about to get to my first hut. I have managed to build up a bit of a sweat. There's absolutely no breeze coming through there and up a few hills, so it's nice to get a little bit out every now and again. The front of this hut looks amazing, if you could call it a hut, and I am pretty lucky. I am the only visitor on this day passing through, so I basically got this to myself alongside a parks ranger, of course. And check this out. It's the end of day one, and I am just trying to get a glimpse of my first sunset across the bay. That's the capes down in the background there, which is quite amazing to see. I have a feeling that the throw of my lens isn't quite far enough to capture the beauty of that landscape all the way over there on the horizon, but I'm still going to get the camera out anyway. I've got the 85mm lens on, a circular polarizer, and I'm just hoping that I get a little bit of colour in the sky. It's been pretty overcast all afternoon, and I'm just getting glimpses of sun on the horizon there. There's not many overnight multi-day camping trips I've done in Tasmania where I can sip my cup of tea and have dry feet and soak in the atmosphere like this, so it really is an amazing place to come down here and do some photography. I am going to take another exposure here at 1 second, and my shutter at f16. And this little travel tripod is amazing for pack light, but because it's so agile, I need to set the timer for the camera to take any shake off before the exposure. And that's way too exposed for that sky. And I'll go down to a second here, what I thought was a second. And it is a very plain atmosphere, but nonetheless it's still a good record of being here. Welcome to day 2, and that was a very restful night, which I am stoked to catch up on some sleep. Today I'm looking at 4 hours to the next hut, so I've been informed, plus time for some photography along the way, no doubt. We've got an amazing sunrise, just struggling for some subject matter. Maybe some of these trees. Pretty sweet views up there, hey? I've probably spent the last hour, maybe hour and a half since I've left the hut, making my way through that ridge that I've just shown you, and pretty spectacular views, to say the least. Bit of a hill to climb up, or a mountain or a ridge, call it what you like, but true to form, what they said in the guidebook, this track is superior, and they've certainly found a good way of taking the pinch out of that hill. So I much appreciate that. Got a little bit of artwork along the track as well in different spots. If you have a look at the guidebook, it gives you interpretation of what they all mean. I have done some thinking along this track for the last hour or so, and the idea has just dawned on me. Being winter, the sunrise and sunset is a long way north. If you look at a map of Tasmania and look at the angle the sun comes up on here and the angle it goes down there, I'm going to get blocked by a heap of landmass right through the middle of Tasmania, which means those magical golden rays are going to miss a lot of these amazing cliffs down here. I will get some nice colour in the sky, of course, but I'm going to have to rethink my strategy for my photography down here. I don't want to end up with pictures with high contrast, which means lots of bright light and lots of dark shadow. So what I have noticed though, to my advantage, is that sky is mid-morning, which means I've got a lot of moody atmosphere at the moment. So I think the best time for photography this time of year might be mid-morning, mid-afternoon, when I still get lots of ambient light poking around these cliffs, as well as an interesting sky. So stay tuned, let's go check it out, have some fun and see what we can get. Looks like these huts have got a similar design as you go along, which look quite amazing. And check this view out. And I think that's photo worthy. I'm just going to grab the camera out and grab a picture while that light's still bouncing across the water like that, in case it disappears. I couldn't help resist but get the camera out. Like I said, there's plenty of times I've been on trips before and I thought I might wait until a little bit later to capture that image, but I've gone back to that location and the light's gone, or it's almost impossible to get a picture due to weather or other circumstances, so I've certainly capitalised here. I have got an amazing amount of contrast out there. It is roughly midday, I haven't actually checked, but I'd say it's taken me about a solid 3 to 4 hours to get here, which would place me about that time of day. Feeling pretty good about this. I have taken 2 exposures. I've put an 85mm prime on, and I've also put a circular polarizer on just to help a little bit with some of the glare coming across the water at the moment through the pockets of clouds. What I have also brought with me, you might have remembered an episode or 2 ago, I dropped my camera and I smashed a bunch of filters. Well, I finally got a brand new filter. This is a 10-stop filter. I've never used it before. I might give it a go here, just see what the results look like. I'm expecting that will reduce, or actually I'm expecting that will increase my shutter speed from the range of about half a second what I'm ranging now through to possibly 30 seconds in the middle of the day. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm keen to give it a go. So let's try it, a 10-stop neutral density filter down the Tasman Peninsula.